You should be trapping.
Welcome to the community. I hope everyone is well. And today we have a brief clip that we want to get in from a national news syndicated program about the recent release of a pair of sneakers. So without further ado, let's hear from our local reporters.
To TMZ Live, Harvey and Babcock here. I don't even buckle up. Buckle up. Okay, so there is a host on Fox News Channel. His name is Raymond Arroyo. He had a hot take today on the sneakers that Donald Trump was hawking over the weekend. These gold sneakers, say never surrender. I'm just going to let him say it.
Yeah, that's probably best.
And then we're going to get into it.
Even the sneaker thing. I was on social media last night. Very interesting. As you see black support eroding from Joe Biden, this is connecting with black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love there's a big deal, certainly in the inner city. So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute, this is cool. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics.
Guys, hype beasts are voters too, so, he's really attracting, the type of people that really, are into fashion like this. But it's also important to note that the Fox News host said he saw reactions on social media. He's not just making this up.
The Fox News host saw the reaction on social media. Does this man look like he is steeped and well versed in anything that has to do with hip hop, the black community, or caring anything about the success and prosperity of black people? That's the guy that our friend is holding up as the most accurate reporter of what is going on in the black community per social media. And more importantly, which social media site do you think this man is on? Do you think it's one of the ones that look like a cesspool of hate and propaganda and violent, disgusting rhetoric? Even though it used to be a pretty cool place to hang out, meet new people. Where do you think this dude is hanging out on social media to get this very accurate assessment of what's going on with these sneakers in the black community? Hoping ain't that bird out.
It just feels like to me, it's like the Joe Biden, you're not black if you don't vote for me. You cannot boil down an entire group of people, they're going to vote for Donald Trump because he made gold sneakers and they like sneakers. No.
We've seen it with rapper Peasy. He's a Detroit rapper. Detroit is really democratic, but he's saying he wants the sneakers. He's going to vote for it.
So I know, Trent, I really want to understand this. So Trent runs TMZ Hip-HOP here. Is this the conventional view that he's right?
If you like Trump, if you're already swaying that way, I think this kind of, turns the tides a little bit. Trump is showing that, he has access to what people love and, people love.
So twice, from two different men, we have heard what can only be described as the stupidest reason to ever cast a vote. Not how does it help your children, not how does it help your city with clean water and clean air, roads and bridges, schools and hospitals, but it's fashion. You got to vote for fashion. So we have the reporter from Fox News sitting up there telling what can be described as a mostly conservative, older, whiter audience. Yeah, those inner city kids that y'all ain't never seen, that y'all ever go nowhere near. They love him because they love the sneakers. And then he gets his genius, JEAN, genius self up there. Man, he's showing that he understands the kids because they love fashion. If we have only taught our kids to chase money, cars, what? That is on us. We deserve all the criticism if this is all it takes to sway our children. And as a person who grew up during some of the worst violence and some of the worst drug epidemics of the 90s, it is literally one of the, I don't even want to call it a joke, but it's like one of the things like, oh man, dudes pull up on the block, pop trunk, hand out sneakers to all the little homies on the block. We're not doing that in 2024. And no one who wants to take us back to a time where popping trunks and handing out sneakers is considered blessing the hood. No, we're not going back to that. No, we're not going back to the snowfall days of the 90s. Y'all can have it. And whatever they're pushing and hawking as it relates to that, we're not doing it. No.
Fashion, especially in the hip hop space. Joe Biden's, his approval rating amongst the hip hop community, tends to shift a lot. So Donald Trump doing this move, he's piquing their interest. So
What is social media doing? Is it mixed? I mean, are people pissed off about it? Are they saying,
people definitely see that, he's definitely catering to a certain demographic, but they're feeling it. The sneakers are kind of fly, if you ask me.
I'll tell you,
Wow.
I'm stunned at the reaction.
Yeah, we had like a gasp when we watched that the first time because it's very shocking.
I'm stunned at the reaction.
I can't even go into all the ways that it is so troubling and perplexing that they got it. But little Mr. I run TMZ Hip Hop. Well, it's Yeezy minus the lack of meds. It's dulcet tone dumminess. Because if you speak very respectably and you use the right voice and you are seeing that grass grows on trees and that the sun is under our feet, then someone on the flat earth side will believe you because you spoke with the right voice and the right tone. And you wasn't yelling like a crazy person into the camera. They got it. My word.
I'm
Yeah, and I think there is, support amongst the black community is I think, shifting away from Joe Biden. I don't know.
Well, the polls.
Right.
The polls are showing that.
Right.
But look, I think given my age and my experience, I hope this time I have learned just to shut up.
Hey guys, it's your girl Bree, and I am just as disgusted as you see that woman to
At the very beginning, and they don't show that part of the clip because I've actually seen the whole clip. The lady in the white dress, you see how she's kind of leaned back in her chair. She also at one point had her hand on her forehead, like this dude. Again, people got it. Mr. TMZ Hip Hop didn't get it. And it's a lot of people like him. That's why we're having this conversation. We are not going to keep letting people get on public social spaces and say things that are patently untrue and false. And when you peddle a false narrative, it is just like telling people that the sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. At some point, you're going to have to get up there and use words that are actually fact based. And if the sky isn't falling, you need to stop saying it.
the right of the man. He's just like, how are you saying this? Like, it's just, how do you quantify a whole race of people as shoe heads? Like, we're all sneakerheads now. I got it. All right, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on because that's the way that's the way I understood it, and I just wasn't hearing that until you came on. Thank you.
What are we doing? First of all, shout out to the lady at the end. Thank you so much for coming in and bringing some facts to that fiction that they were over there selling about them sneakers. But again, that's what we do. We don't drag people here. You will never hear us really going in on anybody. We're going to come with the facts. So let's come with the facts. Black men shift towards Trump in slightly in record numbers. The fact that it says they shift slightly in record numbers, that doesn't even make sense. But this is what we're stuck with. This is the kind of foolishness that there is a reason why this is pushed in the media. It says 80% of black men supported Joe Biden, slightly down from Hillary Clinton's 82% in 2016, but down from historic levels of support for Barack Obama. I almost wish that we could drop the Barack Obama numbers literally from all discussions about presidential politics because there is no other Barack. There is no other moment in history that we can create that is like what happened when, for the first time, a major political party, after 400 years of systematically doing everything it could from a state, federal, and municipal level to destroy the life and wealth of these people, for one person to finally get the nomination from a major party to run the most expensive race in presidential history at the time, cost almost $1 billion one time, and then he gets reelected. That happened. And supposedly, because one time the black community, for all his imperfections, one time someone that represented us, someone that looked like our story, someone that actually cared about our community, was elected to the highest office in the land. And we cannot stop the discussions about that. So, again, the problem, and we need to be honest, in the community is with a certain group of ideologically conservative men. Over half of black men, 52%, who identified as ideologically conservative, cast their vote for president. And we're going to talk about some of those ideologically conservative men because even though they have fancy monikers like Manosphere and Passport Bros and some hip hop head and crypto bros and some other things like that, what they desire on a social level looks very similar no matter what they look like on the outside. And that's a conversation that we're going to have at some point as well. About 26% of black men who had a high school diploma or less supported Trump. 22% of black men with bachelor's degrees and 20% with advanced degrees. Black men with some college education broke for Biden at levels comparable to those with black women. So as it continues to go along, it talks about during the 2020 campaign. Um, but here's the point that I want to get to because it's going to lead into our next segment. It says Trump has stumped for black support this election season, gaining endorsements from rappers like Lil Wayne and Ice Cube. Aren't we so happy our entertainers decided to join the political conversation? This is the plan.
Man, I'm not with that, all right?
This is what I want to talk about. Because Mr. O'Shea took his behind down there because he had something to say, remember? He wanted to make sure that whoever the next president was had the best interest of Black America at heart. So he came up with his platinum plan and he decided to go on a huge media tour promoting his platinum plan. For the last 4 years, would anybody like to tell me how hard he has worked to make sure that the things that he wanted that was in the platinum plan, how hard has he worked? How many times has he called us to go down there? How many times have we been asked to write letters to our senators? How many times have we been asked to show up on our state capitals? These are the people that keep stepping to the stage. These are the people. Lil Wayne was facing federal charges. He got himself a pardon. Your personal success is not community safety. Your personal wealth is not community prosperity. I am done with our celebrity class insulated with their wealth, using their origin story to peddle myth and do very little. It is unsurprising that both Ice Cube and a whole bunch of other people have decided that they wanted to partner with people during the Trump campaign. And what really bothered most people who gave any care about improving what was going on in the African American community, we could have told you that that platinum plan was just a bunch of regurgitated BS. In general, the platinum plan is not ambitious to transform Black America. Instead, it was full of most people didn't even read it. All y'all knew was that on social media, he's going on The View, he's going on CNN, he's going on these media tours. He's talking about how this group hasn't done this group hasn't done that. Sir, you have enough money to organize 1,000 buses across America, but you have a lot of time to go on The View. Black people naturally plan tout school choice, of course. Even though he knows absolutely nothing about the way school is funded, he knows nothing about the way that historically school choice has been used to hurt the black community. He's never heard of 1958, the year without school. He barely even knows who the Little Rock Nine are. But he wants to put forth a plan that doesn't include fixing what we have, but yet to create a new system. We have not learned yet that every single time they create a new system, the dominant social class in this country, when they create a new system, it is never for the benefit of everyone. Slavery dies, you create Jim Crow. Does that sound like it's for the benefit of everyone? You defeat Jim Crow, and here comes mass incarceration, destroying of black wealth. There is no program, the creation of the suburbs. There is no program that has been started that we can honestly say was there to benefit us. The plan also equates the KKK with Antifa. Like this is who y'all raise up. And let me tell you, it's a whole bunch of people like this. It's a whole bunch of people with this barbershop foolishness. This Facebook philosophy. It's disgusting. So, I also hear a lot of people talk about how Trump is a businessman. He's the best businessman we ever had. Man has had more failed businesses than NBA YoungBoy got baby mamas. But he's a great businessman. He's a wealthy man. His daddy was already rich with the day he was born. But let's talk about all the other people that have managed to get rich. So at the end of 23, the stock market had already boomed because y'all saying y'all voting because he's a businessman and we had the most money we ever had. We had the most success and wealth we ever had under Trump. That's what y'all say on these blogs. That's what y'all say while y'all discussing y'all dead rapper friends. Y'all dead rapper heroes. So the stock market boomed all 23. Would you like to know what happened in 2024? It soared. That article is from December of 23. Want to know what happened next? Like live look at the people on Wall Street right now. That was a live look. Record highs in 2024. It grew through the roof in 2023, and everybody down to the secretary is living their best life. Everybody balling. Everybody. You might even be out there kicking it if you got a 401k. You might be able to borrow and get a loan against your assets right now. But I have people telling me that the best thing to ever happen to us happened during the years of 2016 to 2020. I don't really know what to say anymore at this point, but I do know we cannot make up our own facts to fit our opinions. So I thank you for joining me this morning. We went a little bit longer. We are on the road to 1,000 subs. So I thank you so very much. And you know what I always say, may blessings chase you down. May trouble never find your door. I need you to level up because your community needs you. Be kind when you can and stay safe.